Hi. Um, I don't make videos. I am making a video. I don't have any fancy intro. It's just me speaking. Who am I? I'm Moldy Squidfish. I stream a lot of Destiny. Don't make a lot of videos, as you can tell. Played Destiny since D1 beta all the way through to now. Small breaks here and there, as you do. But yeah, I'm making a short video about the portal. Totally unscripted, so I might go off on a tangent at some point. I'll try and reel it in. Yeah, the portal. Everyone seems to be talking about the portal and the power grind and how the Caldera K1 logistics mines is just bad or good or efficient. Bungie's now talking about bringing Fireteam Ops and Pinnacle Ops back up to the efficiency levels of solo ops. Basically, everyone seems to be talking about the power grind, the efficiency of the power grind. So I don't want to speak about that. I don't really want to get into that at all. I want to speak about the activities inside the portal, mainly, or lack thereof, and what rewards they are dropping. So yeah, it'll be brief. Kind of got like an idea to kind of put forward, I guess. I don't know, maybe Bungie's already looking into this idea. I think it would help for selfish reasons for myself. I am sick and tired of getting the same drops. I don't mind the power grind, but what would make the power grind a little more worth it is if you're actually grinding for loot at the same time. I feel like everyone's brushed past the fact that we are just infusing everything to level up. We're not looking at any of the guns we're getting because they're not great. Mint and Theodolite are standouts. Crucible weapons, I can't speak too much on that. I've played a little bit of comp this season. I've got my not sorry, I got my Solemn Remembrance. It's completely different gun, same model. So yeah, I guess we'll just get into it. So yeah, we've got the kind of top half of the Fireteam Ops. Seems to just be strikes, right? Conduit, Proving Grounds, Devil's Lair, strike. Foothold, Oracle, Delve, strike. I would leave those. I would just leave those as is. Sorry, Liminality, Inverted Spire, Glassway, also strikes. Obviously, they're speaking about increasing the fact that you were running Inverted Spire for 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and you would get one completion reward. Whereas if you run a solo ops for like 4 to 5 minutes, you're getting one completion reward. So yeah, increase the loot drops for the people grinding power. Obviously, that's fine, but keep the loot drops the same. Oh my god, we've got more strikes. Okay, Dark Priestess, Technocrat, Warrior, leave them the same. It's this kind of bottom half, which I can't look at all at once because Bungie. So Savathun Spire, the Coil, both seasonal activities. This was more like a seasonal strike. I think the seasonal activity for Season of the Witch was the replayable one that was non-stop. Actually kind of good, to be honest. I actually kind of enjoyed that. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, Savathun Spire was from Season of the Witch. Coil, Season of the Wish. Very similar names, different seasons. But it was Court, Onslaught, and Midtown Onslaught were technically also kind of seasonal activities that came with loot. They came with their own special loot because so you had the Brave Arsenal, and then you had the Revenant weapons you could grab from the Widow's Court version of Onslaught. The Coil had its own weapons, Season of the Wish. Savathun Spire technically had its own Season of the Witch weapons. So the whole basis of this idea is, right, these two things, the Coil, Savathun Spire, they're in the portal. You're getting one drop from this, and you're getting 3 drops from this, right? I don't really care about the amount of drops you're getting. They said they're going to increase it to bring it up. What I really care about is what the loot drops actually are. Right, so I'll pull up a web page. Right, ignore these now. Kept confidence, Season of the Witch. Why does this not drop in the tiered system from South Inspire? I'm not going to try and say that. Semioticician was a really good, probably still is a somewhat viable strand heavy or rocket launcher. These came with Season of the Witch. Season of the Witch, Scatter Signal. Season of the Undying weapons got brought into Season of the Witch. Wish. Doom Petitioner. Like that. So the whole idea is, right, we've got these seasonal activities from past seasons we've brought into the portal, but no one's gonna play them. No one really wants to play Sabbath Inspire or the Coil, which actually were two pretty good seasonal activities. The only issue is, even when they increase the loot drops from these to bring up the efficiency so people will want to play them, they're just getting the same new portal weapons drop. I don't understand why Bungie haven't gone down the route of bringing back old weapons, bring them into the tiered system. They've brought back old weapons so many times before, and give people a chance to regrind for these, or give people a chance who didn't play during these seasons or are new to the game to actually obtain these guns. Scar Signal is still one of the best primary fusions in the game. It was really good. And unless Zur, I don't know if Zur does Season of the Wish weapons. I know he does a ton of old weapons. You need to wait so many weeks for him to actually have this available in the exact role you want, which is only going to be 2 perks. You're not going to get multiple roles in one because there's no tiered system on Zur. It would also bring this gear into new gear, which would then give it the damage boost and more people. It's just a way. The whole idea is to bring old weapons back into the tiered system. Specifically, if I run the Coil, I will get Coil or Season of the Undying weapons, and that's going to make me want to grind that. Better yet, they've literally took the Brave Arsenal from Midtown. Onslaught. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. Just leave it in there. So people didn't get a chance to play Onslaught. I played with someone that didn't get a chance to play Onslaught when it was a thing. He didn't play this game. And he now just plays Onslaught for portal drops. Which I think he did once, because it's totally not worth. But it would be worth if the free drops he got from this activity were Brave Arsenal weapons. And the higher you are, the more chance you've got getting a higher tier. Not only that, the Brave Arsenal genuinely already has a holofoil. It was perfect. It was set up perfectly for them to leave the Brave Arsenal in there and re-release the holofoil. I know they said if you don't get the holofoil during Into the Light, you would never get it again. Who cares? I've got holofoil Brave Arsenal weapons. I don't care. I don't need to gatekeep my weapons from other players, new players, returning players. Just bring it back. I don't think it's that much of an issue. Season of the Revenant weapons. I love my. I can't remember the name of it. I've got the Arc SMGs from Season of the Revenant. I love that gun. Put it back in Widow's Court. Put the Revenant weapons back in Widow's Court. Give us a chance to grind for them again in the tiered system. I feel like this is set up so nice for them to have that. Like, just have. You've got your different activities. You get some of the older weapons from them. Better yet, the idea goes further. We've got the Coil, Season of the Wish, and Season of the Witch, Sabbath Inspire. These rotate weekly, right? So these are in here for a week. These two different activities. They're in here for a week. You grind them in that week. People are going to be grinding it like crazy once the Coil finally comes up and they can get a Doom Petitioner or a Scatter Signal, or maybe just a Season of the Undying weapon they want, right? You're going to be grinding that. While these are active in the portal, Onslaught stays. Onslaught always stays. These are the weapons that are featured, right? Not just Dead Man's Tale. Necrochasm's featured. Tessellation's featured. But that technically, I guess, maybe not Tessellation because it was Final Shape, but it dropped if you if you pre-ordered. Dead Messenger's featured. X-Derius is featured. And because Wish is in there, you've got these which are mostly already featured anyway, which I found quite odd, but these are featured. Dragon's Breath featured. Buried Bloodlines featured. The next week when they come out, so I've got some examples here. We've got Splicer, Chosen, let's just say Override and Defiant Battlegrounds. As the next week passes, these are the 2 activities in there. Let me find the guns. I don't have great guns for these 2. Well, we've got Chroma Rush, the Grid Skipper, I forget the name of the grenade launcher. There's a grenade launcher that everyone loved. Won't find it. Put those weapons in those activities to get, and then any exotics that dropped during those 2 seasons, does it need to be tied to the season pass or whatever? As long as it dropped during those 2 seasons, they are now the featured ones for this week. It changes what we're going to want to use every week. Not massively, right? There's maybe a trash exotic that's featured one week and we're going to be like, yeah, we're not going to use that. But still, there will be exotics in there that pop up that you go, oh, this is now featured. Right, I'm going to use this. It seems like a no-brainer. So there's just a bunch of different examples of things they could have added in. Maybe not Vex Offensive, that's really old. Coils in. Astral Alignment, Season of the Lost, Nightmare Containment, there's Perfect Paradox. Even the Echo, right? No one, maybe not no one. I didn't mind Echoes that much. I think Encore was good exotic mission, to be honest. The activity was relied on your teammates not to speed run because you had to pick up all the things to get the max score. One of those ones. But Season of the Echoes weapons were amazing. Sightline Survey, great. Corrasion, great. Aberrant Action, great. Lost Signal, the original Area Denial, great. So many people just don't have these guns. And someone might say, well, you don't really need Aberrant Action. There's a new Crucible gun. It's shit. That's all I've really got to say. It's shit. It fires weird. It sounds weird. It doesn't feel right. This is the one, right? So they put in the Echoes activity, and these guns are tied to it. There's so many good guns in this activity to grind for. Was it really boring? Yes. Will people play it if they're going to get these guns and they don't have these guns yet? Are they going to play it if they already have these guns and they can get a chance to get a tier 5 Lost Signal? Yeah, probably. Probably. More than likely they would play it rather than playing it just for a loot drop that they're going to infuse something into. So the whole idea is 2 seasonal activities in the portal, weekly rotation. While these are in the portal, these guns tied to the activity are what you get, as well as powerful drops, right? And while these are in rotation, whichever exotic launched during these 2 seasons, these are featured. Every week it changes. The featured exotics change every week. Maybe not armor, maybe leave armor to Bungie's choice. Exotic class items need to be featured, bro. Season of the Haunted. I have all these crafted god rolls. I would grind the life out of the Season of the Haunted activity for a tiered Callous mini tool. For a tiered Beloved. I love my Beloved. An Ostringer. Okay. They are not bringing back Blast Furnace. They already did. I mean, they're really good to put it back in Onslaught. Threat level never came back. I love this gun so much. Technically speaking as well, Season of the Forge weapons already had a holofoil, but it was just it was like an ornament you could put on your gun, but it made it like kind of like a holofoil glow with a black armory lines. Ketch Crash had Blood Feud. Brigaine's Law. Sales by Pitch Blast. Season of the Heresy. I'm guessing because the Nether was a ton of fun. People loved the Nether. This will be coming back at some point. But what they're going to find is they're going to put it back in the portal with portal drops at a very shit efficiency rate, and no one's going to want to play like the Heresy activities. like quarter blades or this or the nether, sorry, because they've not got a chance to get the old holofoil tier 5 loot in a new form. It just seems like a no-brainer, and it's really it's really getting to me. That they've decided the only way of getting any of these new guns I'm talking about, or old guns, should I say, sorry, the only way of getting these now is from Zoo in a weekly rotation. They've basically said, right, we're taking all the guns, they're going to Zoo, they're not going to be tiered, they're going to be the old version. Oh, by the way, we're going to put the coil and Sabbath Inspire in the portal, but you're just going to get portal drops from it. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. And in my head, I'm like, I'm really hoping, oh, maybe they're working on this. Maybe this is like something they're going to bring out. They just need time to get it perfected or whatever. So I think, yeah, part of me is hoping that they're working on something like this. And this is like the future. I wish it was a thing right now. And part of me also doesn't think they are going to do anything like this. Because if they were going to do anything like this, they would have left the Brave Arsenal in Onslaught. Like, they directly made an announcement stating that the Brave Arsenal was coming away from Onslaught. So they could put the portal weapons in Onslaught, which is in every other activity in the portal, and send the Brave Arsenal to Zoo. So yeah, that's like the seasonal activity kind of part. The other thing is solo ops. There was a tweet. Destiny 2 content creator. I don't know if he's trolling, but actually, on in a serious note, yeah, these are like fireteam activities. But they could be things that could just be popped into solo ops. And they've got so many little activities in this that were tied to seasons. So yeah, maybe when Season of the Witch, like right now, Season of the Witch activities are in the fire team ops. There's also 2 added into the solo ops, and it's a way for you to grind for like 1 drop per solo ops run for the same guns. Kind of ties into the first idea. You're just kind of taking a couple of maybe even losters that were released during that time. So I guess, yeah, the other thing is dungeons and raids. We already know dungeons are definitely coming to the portal. In which form, I don't know. A little tab here. Maybe dungeons and raid tab. And all they really need to do is featured dungeons and raids brought back from past seasons, put into the portal, and nothing changes. The only thing that changes is the loot drops we get from the dungeons and raids are now tiered. New gear tiered. Add modifiers on. That is a new thing, I guess. So it's still featured. You can still grind it. You can add modifiers to make dungeons and old raids harder, which would be fun. And yeah, we can. They're featured, so you can just grind them. You can just keep playing them. Same drops per encounter, but tiered. Like, I really, really, really don't want them to put dungeons and raids into the portal so we can grind portal drops. I want the dungeon and raid loot. If I'm playing the dungeon and raids, I want that loot. And I don't want it to be old loot that's not tiered and slightly unusable. I want it brought into the new system. Weekly rotation. The only thing I didn't like about the featured raid thing in the past was the 1 raid per week. Did they change that eventually? Maybe they did. Anyway, I'd say 2 raids per week, maybe 1 dungeon. Yeah, I think that might be it. Last thing, one more thing, big thing. Everybody knows. Everybody. I don't need to get too much into this. I will throw my idea out there. These, I think even Bungie know, these are not how do you say it? A replacement for Grandmaster Nightfalls. They're just not. They're playable once. Yes, you get 1 good loot drop from it. Cool. and then it's done for the season. I think that's per account as well. So we're 110%, and I'm hoping and praying that they're doing something along these lines of just putting a little Ultimate Nightfall thing up here. And it'll be just the same. It would be just the same as GMs, really. I mean, it'll be harder. Let's face it, I wasn't soloing GMs and saying, "Oh, that was easy" every time I done one. But they did become like muscle memory. You can get used to them, and they were getting a lot easier. So maybe if they make it ultimate, can't change the modifiers. They are set. Everyone needs to be high enough to play it. And they would drop. I think I've lost the tab. They would drop the Nightfall way. And the tiered system. One per week. So yeah, like Warden's Law 1 week, then the Slammer, then Scintillation, so on and so forth. Cruel Mercy seemed to be brought into the game and then like gone. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if Bungie mentioned the plan for these weapons, this arsenal. Did they just, are these also just went to Zoo? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I think that's a no-brainer. Again, it's an easy win. I feel like everything I've spoke about right now is an easy win. Bring back old activities. You know, we've got a bunch of them here. Also, Ketchcrass, episode Heresy stuff, the episode Echo stuff, the Revenant Onslaught's already in there. They're not going to bring back 4Gs and the Menagerie, so we can completely forget about that. I'm pretty sure the Menagerie or Opulence weapons were tied to Season of the Haunted anyway, so you know they're kind of covered in this if they bring back the weapons. But yeah, I would 110% bring back these weapons into rotation. Let it cook in the background. You know, they don't. It's one of those things where they don't even really need to make new guns instantly. Bringing these guns into the tiered system would keep people busy for a bit until they're ready to say, right, we've got some new Nightfall weapons. A Lotus Eater Adept would be, you know what I mean? Warden's Law, I love Warden's Law. I'd be great for that. So yeah, I think raids and dungeons are coming. Give us the gear that comes with the raids and dungeons and the tiered system. Bring back some sort of Nightfall to grind. I think it should be an ultimate Nightfall. I think you should need to level up to actually play it as well. Because I mean, right now I don't know the purpose. I'm hitting 450 to get better tiered loot. I guess it's not terrible. But I think ultimate Nightfall would keep a lot of people happy. And the main point I was making is old seasons, just bring back some old guns. They've done it before. I mean, Callus Manito, Beloved, Dawstringer coming into Season of the Haunted is exactly what I'm talking about. That was from Season of Opulence, right here. Season of Opulence was the original release. They brought it back. Yeah, people say, oh, they're doing it again. They're reusing old assets. They're bringing back old guns. But I would rather have the old guns available in things like the Coil and Savathun's Spire rather than these portal drops. Like, I don't care about these portal drops. I would absolutely love to grind for a Doom Petitioner Tier 5. Would it make that much difference? No, but it's something. You know, it's something. So yeah, I don't see them doing this, but I was sick of cooking up ideas in my head and talking about it to friends on Discord, and you know, I just say, you know what, we'll just put it in a video. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Send this to Bungie. I really do think this is a pretty good idea. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's not possible. Bye. Oh wait, I'll do one of those things. Like a real YouTuber.